2025 has been a roller coaster for K-drama fans, and while we've seen some amazing hits so far, there are a few dramas that totally flopped this year, despite starring top actors like Lee Min-ho, Lee Dong-wook, Lee Jae-wook, and other notable actors. Let's talk about 10 K-dramas that have flopped in 2025 so far. These K-dramas missed the mark in a big way, from confusing plots to boring romances. We'll talk about what went wrong and why these shows ended up flopping. It's not all bad, but you'll definitely want to hear why these dramas didn't make the cut. Let's get started. Number 10. Tastefully Yours. Starting off the list is Tastefully Yours, a drama that promised a delightful mix of food, romance, and personal growth, but ended up being a bit of a letdown. The story follows Han Byung-woo, played by Kang Han-ul, an executive who works at a big food company, but doesn't care much about food. He meets Moo Yeon-ju, played by Go Min-shi, a chef who runs a small restaurant in Jeonju. Byung-woo is asked to get her recipes for his company, and that's when they start working together. At first, they don't get along, but over time, they start having feelings for each other. The idea was good, but the show didn't quite meet expectations. Even though Kang Han-ul and Go Min-shi gave solid performances, the drama had trouble getting good ratings in South Korea, with about 3% on average. It did better on Netflix and other countries, where viewers liked the chemistry between the leads and the food scenes. But critics said the pacing was slow, and some parts of the story felt unnecessary. Some subplots didn't add much, making the show feel slow at times. While Tastefully Yours had some nice moments, many viewers thought it could have been better. The romance was too predictable, and the slow pace made it hard to stay interested. The show had a great idea, but it didn't keep viewers excited or fully engaged. Number 9. Dear Hongrang. Next on the list is Dear Hongrang, a drama that had a lot of potential with its historical setting, mystery, and romance, but unfortunately didn't quite stick the landing. It follows Hongrang, played by Lee Jae-wook, who was born into a rich family but disappeared when he was 8 years old. 12 years later, he returned, but he has no memory of his past. His half-sister, Jae, played by Jo Bo-ah, isn't sure if he is really her brother. She decides to find out the truth. Some people in their family are happy he's back, but others are not so sure. They all have secrets. While Lee Jae-wook gave a strong performance, as the mysterious Hongrang and Jo Bo-ah added depth to her role as Jae, the chemistry between them left viewers feeling uncomfortable at times. The romantic tension, despite them not being blood-related, was hard to ignore and sparked discussions about the appropriateness of their relationship. That made it tricky for some to fully engage with the drama. The pacing was another issue. The plot delved into themes like family secrets and forbidden love, but the way it was executed felt slow and uneven. By the end, many viewers felt let down by the resolution, and the drama didn't live up to the hype it generated. On top of that, the viewership ratings were quite low, with the series struggling to break 2% in South Korea. While it did generate some international buzz, it wasn't enough to redeem it. Critics pointed out that the show never fully delivered on its promises, leaving many to feel disappointed by the final outcome. Number 8. Our Movie. This drama follows Lee Ji-ha, played by Nam Kyung-min, a film director who is struggling with a creative block after his first movie's success. He decides to remake a movie that his late father made, and he hires Lee Da-um, played by Jeon Yeo-bin, an actress who has a terminal illness, to be the main character. As they work together on the film, their relationship grows deeper. The idea was good, but the way it was done didn't quite work out. Even though our male and female leads gave solid performances, Our Movie had trouble attracting viewers. It started with a 4.2% rating, but the numbers dropped to around 3% in later episodes. The final episode saw a small increase, but it was still low. Critics said that while the story had emotional potential, it moved too slowly and didn't have enough depth. Some felt our female lead's performance was not as powerful as expected. People had mixed feelings about Our Movie. Some liked how the show looked and the way the two main characters worked together. But many thought the show didn't feel emotional enough. On social media, viewers said the show didn't live up to what they expected. They felt the characters didn't grow much, and the emotional moments weren't strong. Our Movie had a good idea, but it didn't make people feel as much as it was supposed to. Number 7. Potato Lab. Potato Lab had a unique concept, but ended up disappointing many viewers. The story follows Kim Mi-kyung, played by Lee Sun-bin, a potato researcher who loves potatoes and works at a potato research center in a mountain valley. Her life changes when So Baek-ho, played by Kang Tae-ho, becomes the new director of the potato center. He is serious and doesn't understand her passion for potatoes. They often argue, but slowly start to understand each other and develop feelings. While the idea of a quirky, potato-centered drama seemed fun, the execution didn't hit the mark. The pacing was slow, and many viewers found the plot too predictable and lacking in depth. The acting from the lead characters wasn't enough to save the show. While Lee Sunbin and Kang Tae-oh tried their best, their chemistry failed to make the romance feel genuine. The characters didn't have strong development, making it hard for the audience to care about them. The humor felt forced at times, and the dramatic moments lacked emotional weight, leaving viewers disengaged. It seemed like the show didn't know if it wanted to be a comedy or a romance, which made it feel all over the place. In terms of viewership, Potato Lab struggled badly in South Korea, with ratings averaging around 1.8%. It had a small following internationally thanks to its Netflix release, but the low ratings and lack of buzz showed that it didn't connect with most viewers. While some fans appreciated its light-hearted moments, the majority of the audience found the story dull and underwhelming. Overall, the drama had a quirky premise, but failed to live up to its potential, leaving many disappointed. Number 6. Kick 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 Kick. This drama follows the story of a former famous actor, played by Ji Jin-hee, and a once successful TV producer, played by Jo Young-sik. They team up to start a new content company called Kick 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 Kick. The show takes place mostly in their office, showcasing their funny and sometimes awkward attempts to make a comeback. On paper, the idea seemed fresh, combining humor with a theme of second chances, but it quickly became clear that it wasn't working as expected. The biggest problem was the lack of connection with the audience. Despite a strong cast, the show's humor fell flat. Many viewers found the jokes forced and the characters hard to connect with. The humor, which was supposed to be the show's main strength, felt outdated and didn't have the same charm as classic sitcoms like High Kick. The pacing also felt off, with scenes dragging on longer than necessary. It quickly became clear that the series was trying too hard to be quirky without offering much substance. When it came to ratings, the drama performed poorly, with viewership numbers barely scraping by. The final episode got just a 0.3% rating, marking it as one of the least watched shows of 2025. The show struggled to maintain any momentum, and by the time it finished, it had already been forgotten by many. Critics also shared similar views, saying that the show failed to deliver on its premise. It wasn't funny enough to be a solid comedy, and it didn't have enough emotional depth to make viewers care about the characters. Overall, the drama ended up being a big flop, failing to live up to the hype it had when it was first announced. Number 5. Motel California. Motel California is a Korean drama that aired on MBC from January 10th to February 15th, 2025. It stars Lee Se-young as Ji Kang-hee and Na In-woo as Cheon Yun-soo. The story follows Kang-hee, who returns to her rural hometown and reunites with her first love, Yun-soo, after 12 years. Despite the interesting premise, the drama failed to capture the audience's attention. The main issue with Motel California is its slow pacing and lack of character development. Many viewers feel the storyline drags on too long, making it hard to connect with the characters. The chemistry between the lead actors is also weak, which makes their interactions feel forced and unconvincing. This leads to a lack of engagement and a drop in viewership as the show progresses. Motel California averages 4.5% viewership nationwide, with the highest rating reaching 6% during its run. These numbers are considered low for a primetime drama on a major network like MBC. The drama struggles to maintain consistent viewership and fails to generate much excitement, making it one of the biggest flops in the 2025 K-drama lineup. Number 4. Crushology 101. This one is a romance drama about a college student named Ban Hee-jin, played by Ro Jong-hee. After a humiliating breakup with her first love, she decides to date only good-looking guys and ends up surrounded by 4 handsome men, all trying to win her heart. The drama also stars Lee Chae-min and Jo Jun-young as some of her suitors. Even though it had a talented cast and an interesting story, Crushology 101 didn't do well with viewers. Many people felt the romance was too predictable and the chemistry between the characters didn't feel real. The show started with low ratings and only got worse as it went on, with the final episode getting just a 0.8% rating. Critics and viewers were disappointed, saying the drama felt forgettable and boring. Even though it had some potential, the show just didn't capture the audience's attention, and it ended up as one of the flops of 2025. Number 3. Spring of Youth. Spring of Youth is a K-drama that aired on SBS from May 6th to July 2nd, 2025. The series stars Ha Yoo-jun as Seo Jae, Park Ji-hoo as Kim Bom, and Lee Sung-hyub as Seo Tae-young. The story follows Seo Jae, a former K-pop idol who, after being expelled from his group, enrolls in Hanji University. There, he meets Kim Bom, a talented musician with a tragic past, and they form a band with Seo Tae-young and others. The drama explores themes of love, music, and self-discovery. Despite its promising premise, Spring of Youth struggled to captivate its audience. The series faced criticism for its pacing and editing, with some viewers finding the storyline slow and disjointed. The chemistry between the lead characters was also questioned, with some feeling that their interactions lacked depth. Additionally, the show leaned heavily on familiar K-drama tropes, which some found predictable and unoriginal. The show struggled to get viewers interested, with the final episode reaching only a 1% nationwide viewership, a slight increase from the previous episode's 0.9%. These numbers reflect how hard it was for the drama to keep its audience engaged. While it found some international success, it didn't make a big impact in South Korea, leading to its classification as one of the flops of 2025. Number 2. Divorce Insurance. Divorce Insurance is a romantic comedy that aired on TVN from March 31st to May 6, 2025. It stars Lee Dong-wook as No Ki-jun, a man who's been divorced 3 times, and Lee Ju-bin as Kong Han-dul, a newly divorced underwriter. Together with Lee Kwang-soo and Lee Da-hee, they form a team to create a divorce insurance product. The show aimed to bring humor and insight into the complexities of modern relationships. Despite its interesting premise and strong cast, Divorce Insurance struggled to engage viewers due to tonal inconsistency. The show tried to balance humor with serious themes like divorce, but it felt disjointed. The chemistry between the leads was weak, and the lack of character depth made it hard for audiences to connect. This led to low viewership, even with actors like Lee Dong-wook and Lee Ju-bin. In South Korea, the drama's viewership ratings were disappointing. The final episode garnered a 1.1% nationwide rating, reflecting a decline over the course of the series. Critics and audiences alike noted that while the concept was fresh, the execution did not live up to expectations. Despite its availability on streaming platforms like Amazon Prime Video, Divorce Insurance did not achieve the success anticipated by its creators. Number 1. When Stars Gossip. Imagine this. Lee Min-ho, one of Korea's top actors, starring in a high-budget drama and still flopping. When Stars Gossip follows Gong Ryong, played by Lee Min-ho, an obstetrician and the future son-in-law of Korea's richest family. He secretly pays to go to space as a tourist to carry out a mission no one can know about. At the space station, he meets Eve Kim, played by Gong Hyo-jin, an elite space scientist and the mission's commander. Their worlds collide as they begin to work together, but despite the unique setting, the drama failed to keep viewers hooked. Despite Lee Min-ho's star power, When Stars Gossip struggled with confusing storytelling and forced romance. The chemistry between Gong Ryong and Eve was lacking, with many viewers finding their connection flat and unconvincing. Critics pointed out that while Lee Min-ho and Gong Hyo-jin are talented actors, the lack of emotional depth in their performances made it hard for audiences to care about their characters. The show's plot was difficult to follow, with a mix of sci-fi and romance that didn't blend well. The pacing was slow, dragging out moments that should have been intense or meaningful. Viewers expected a captivating romance with a sci-fi backdrop, but instead, the show felt unbalanced, making it hard to stay invested. The show's viewership dropped steadily, with the final episode getting just a 2.55% nationwide rating, showing that interest had dwindled. Even though it was available on Netflix, When Stars Gossip didn't make a strong impact and ended up being one of the flops of 2025. And that's a wrap on these K-drama flops. It's always interesting to see how some shows just don't hit the mark, but there's always something new around the corner. Did you watch any of these dramas? Agree with the list, or think we missed a big one? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more K-drama breakdowns and reviews.